African Plains habitat, guys. This is 40 acres of space that our 10 different species, between 70 and 80 individual animals have to roam around, exhibit their natural behaviors to us. It's truly amazing. Everything you see here today, we do in relation to animals, is going to be very highly monitored, and they're going to hold us to very high standards, which is what we want. We do this on purpose. And especially our breeding programs are very closely monitored. We call it a species survival plan. It's kind of like eating a bunch of Twinkies. It's really bad for them. And so we don't want them to get all of it too often, and so we keep it in there. What's the purpose of that, guys?
What is this for?
Yeah, you guys have any guesses? I heard someone say food, and that is right.
Is it salt lick?
It is a special ostrich bird feeder. Yeah, that is a special ostrich bird feeder. We take some steps to ensure that these animals get the exact amount of food they need without other animals being able to steal it. And so our ostriches are easily the tallest animal out here, like rhinos, because rhinos need to wallow around in the mud for the health of their skin. Even though rhinos have very thick skin, it can be up to an inch thick. They have very sensitive skin as well. They can get sunburns. They are bitten by bugs sometimes, and they can even get really dry skin. And that mud helps with all of them. Can't exactly remember yet. All 4 girls are here, so we have 5. I thought I saw.
Oh my gosh, she's so cute.
Yeah, so these are some of our elephants, but remember, just because we're focused on elephants right now doesn't mean that other things aren't happening. So on the driver's side, we actually have our Atra gazelle, and they might decide to leave because we're so close, and so I want to make sure you guys get a good look at them. The elephants can't go anywhere, so we're good. So this is actually Shiraz, Chardonnay, and Riesling are the adults with the really long horns. And we have Moscato, which is the male with the very kind of with the slightly shorter horns. That is our calf. Moscato was actually a surprise baby. So when we got our 3 females, we were told that none of them could possibly be pregnant, and then one of them had a researcher in the zoo, and they they at least I'm not sure. Yeah, we definitely do this. The fastest animal on this habitat. They can run up to about 55 miles an hour. You guys know why these guys have to run so fast? They will actually overheat to the point where they start to damage their brain because their body is so hot. These guys, on the other hand, can run at their top speed of 55 miles an hour for hours and hours. Usually the males are much larger than the females, but Abby is just a very, very large lady. She weighs about 5,300 pounds. Very, very large woman.
Abby's the one in the front. Is she running in the front? Is Abby the one in the front?
Abby is the one in the front laying down, yes. So if she was to stand up, her nuchal crest, which is that big hump on the back of her neck, that has all of the muscles that are meant to lift her head up. So that nuchal crest is 100% muscle because just her head can weigh close to 500 pounds. But until she pecks you, I've been pecked many times by Emmett or by Pearl. It does not feel nice. If you need any other persuasion to not let her touch you, she will often peck feces, which is poop, and then peck us. It's not exactly a clean thing to be touching. And that behavior she's doing right now, that is like a flirty, I like you guys behavior. That is the exact same thing that she would do to a male that she is saying, yes, I will mate with you. These birds are the largest bird in the entire world, but they cannot fly. She weighs about 300 pounds or so. And she's between 8 and 9 feet tall. And the reason that she weighs so much is actually because she has very dense bones. No, I'm just kidding. These birds are actually considered one of the most dangerous animals. We're going to make sure she doesn't waste any more of our time.
No, don't throw it, okay? It's theirs.
We won't waste any her life to make sure that we were out here for the rest of the day. She will put her, this is Kit and Natalie, two more of our female rhinos. And so if you guys were paying attention, we have two females over there, two females over here, and then we have a male roaming around where I don't know where he is. So we have, this is exactly what rhinos will be doing in the wild. We have two females hanging out together. That's what we are passing off in the distance on the passenger side. We can see our water buck, and just over the hill, you can just barely see them. Our Nile Letchway are just over the hill. So it's because we're stopped, you guys can stand over the side. How much do you guys think that bald eagle is going to weigh? Say some guesses. How much?
25 pounds.
25 pounds, maybe? What do you guys think? They actually weigh less than 5 pounds.
Really?
Bald eagle. That's because their bones are hollow. And they look a lot bigger because of all that fluff with the feathers. But it's mostly because of those hollow bones they have that allow them to fly. It decreases their weight so much that even a bald eagle weighs less than 5 pounds. These guys have really dense bones to allow them to run really fast. Because they're so strong and so heavy, if they were to try to run with hollow bones, they would just break everything. So it wouldn't really work, would it? So they need really dense, strong bones so they can propel themselves at about 45 miles an hour. It's really cool how fast these guys can run. They're actually the fastest living animal on two legs. That's a very important part of that fact. On two Nile Letchway. I don't know if you guys can see them anymore because they're a little bit past us. But I want you guys to try to tell them apart really quick. Do they look different at all? Any of those animals out there? Probably not. Except for the water bug have different horns a little bit, but the Letchway look exactly the same. What's actually pretty funny is that our zookeepers have to come out here every single day and identify every individual animal and make sure it's okay. We have between 70 and 80 animals out here. It's a very, very difficult and time-consuming job. And so to make it a little bit easier, almost all of our animals have special ear tags on them that have a special color and a special number that identifies that individual animal. I say most of them have an ear tag because our Letchway don't. They all fell out one day, and so our zookeepers just kind of gave up and named all the Letchway Karen. Yes, so those are, all the Letchway are Karen. But that being said, they can still do their job. Okay guys, we have a really cool treat going on right now. We have a brand new baby oryx today that I did not know about until about 5 minutes ago because Ashley told me. If we can look through the windshield, there is a little tiny, like couple-day-old baby oryx off in the distance, hanging out with those two adults. Can you guys see him? He's so new, I don't even know what his name is. Justin, if we can stop right here, I think it'd be perfect. Just so that you guys can get as much time with the baby as possible.
Can you go show us what happens if you get close to the baby?
No, I can't. He was asking if I can go demonstrate what the mother does if someone tries to go touch the baby. I would just be dead. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. I would be so dead. Yeah.
Was that daddy and mommy?
I don't think so. Is it? I see so much because these geese like it at the zoo so much they actually stay here year round. Even though they're wild geese, they choose not to migrate and they stay here year round. It's very interesting. And so we actually, for one, wanted to encourage these geese to migrate and go about their natural behavior. And two, we wanted to kind of get them away from the African plains so that we can maintain the illusion of Africa in this habitat. So what we did was we actually obtained 6 spur-winged geese from Africa, which is actually a species of duck, but we call it the goose because it's so big. And they're very territorial. And so the idea was that we would have these spur wings out here so that they would control these 40 acres in the Pan-American area because it's just a lot less space. He doesn't have to walk so much. It's just a lot better for him there. this pond. They're very large. We have red and gray fox dens out here. We have a lot of birds of prey, anywhere between barred owls, red-tailed hawks, red-shouldered hawks, Cooper's hawks out here. We have